strengthening the overall biosecurity system.
Question number 11, Stuart Smith.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Arts, Culture and Heritage. What announcements has she made on support for cultural facilities through the Regional Culture and Heritage Fund?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Maggie Barry.
In the last couple of months, I've had the privilege of announcing more than $10 million for projects supporting projects in Whangarei, Hastings and Foxton from the RCHF, with more to come. Most recently, I announced a $900,000 grant to complete the fit-out of the ASB Theatre Complex in Blenheim, thanks in part to the advocacy of their local member. But specifically, it was for the completion of the Anderson Studio Theatre. The RCHF exists to support significant regional projects such as the ASB, which has the potential to be a major cultural and economic asset for Blenheim and Marlborough, attracting both local and international artists.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Stuart Smith.
What announcement has she made about funding from the RCHF for Rakiura Stuart Island?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Maggie Barry.
In the last recess, the member for Invercargill and I beat the weather to visit Oban and announce more than $1 million from the RCHF fund for a complete rebuild of the Rakiura Museum. The Stuart Island community has done well to access other funding from the local council, philanthropic and community sources, and I was very pleased that the government was able to cover the rest of the cost of the project. It's time Stuart Island had the appropriate facilities to display its extensive heritage collections for islanders and visitors to enjoy, and it will be a fantastic asset for the southernmost community.
Question number 12.
Mr Speaker, thank you. To the Minister of Transport.